Hey everybody, it's Jordan here. Welcome to What About the Game. Today I'm going to be talking about Battle Chef Brigade on the Nintendo Switch. Battle Chef Brigade is a bit of a wacky game. Set in a fantastical world, fanatic about food, you follow the story and adventure of Mina, a young girl stuck in her parents' village restaurant and wanting something a little more in life. She wants to join the titular Battle Chef Brigade, an elite group of adventurers, chefs, combination who are famous throughout the land. With any hopes of fulfilling her ambitions, she runs away from home and to the capital city where trials for new members is taking place. It's all going rather smoothly until the third chapter, at which point the story takes a turn and twists around a little. I won't spoil it of course, but don't expect to be staying in the competition for the whole game. I usually don't go into style and presentation of a game until much later on in a review, but I feel like it's so vitally important to Battle Chef Brigade, I'm going to get it out of the way now. It's totally what makes Battle Chef Brigade an excellent and wholly charming title. The writing is spot on, characters are lovable, relatable, and you'll feel at home with all of them instantly, which for me is an incredibly rare experience outside of games with huge budgets. While I wouldn't claim the story to be something overtly special or compelling, it just has the charm, humour, and delivery that gives you a nice fuzzy feeling inside. I felt like I was playing a new Studio Ghibli movie, something along the lines of Kiki's Delivery Service or Howl's Moving Castle. Indeed, the young female protagonist seems to fall in line with much of what Hayao Miyazaki strives for in his movies, and I'd be completely shocked if the developers claimed to not take in huge inspiration from the titan of Japanese animation. Going further, despite looking like a Japanese game with its absolutely gorgeous art style and character animation, Battle Chef Brigade is in fact made by a Western studio. There are some gorgeous watercolor scenes as well as some fantastic animation for the characters, all of which is hand-drawn and it's marvellous. It's a stunningly gorgeous game. The fact that it's a Western game has no doubt helped with the writing, which has been spared being put through the translation grinder and losing what probably makes it good in its original language, something which is unfortunately common in most mid-tier localizations. But the writing is great here, I really like it. Now, as good as the game looks and sounds, let's head over to the most important part of the game, the gameplay. Battle Chef Brigade is one of those genre mashups where there are two very different genres slammed together into separate portions of gameplay. You spend your time between finding ingredients and cooking them up into something special, and this is where the gameplay is conveniently divided. The food gathering is where you play the side-scrolling segment. It's very action-based, it's probably leaning towards the secondary genre rather than it being totally equal. As you enter a cooking duel, you must immediately leave your stove and enter into the wild, filled with animals and monsters. These monsters are your ingredients, at least bits of them are. The Y button is your general attack button, which can be comboed, as well as doing some slightly more advanced techniques by using the directional buttons like an uppercut and stomp. You also have a magic bar which can produce magical attacks, and like the normal attack can do different moves depending on the direction you press. Magic is usually the safer option by far as you can attack from distance, but your magic bar runs out very quickly. Thankfully it regenerates on its own though. It's not the most in-depth of action to be honest. Arenas are kept smallish, a few levels high and don't go very deep. Not that they should. With any more than a single mouth to feed, you don't want to get too lost in the action, especially with the panic-inducing timer. The environments do change once in a while. Sometimes you're high in the sky, in a normal field or in caves. Each environment offers different creatures and different ingredients to pick up. You can only pick up a handful of ingredients at a time, so you'll more often than not have to make multiple trips to get enough ingredients to please multiple judges and create a quality meal for each. It's a very tactical and risk versus reward balance. I found that more often than not I tested my luck in that regard. Even though the two genres are very much interconnected, it's the cooking part that really counts the most. Cooking is an interesting take on the match 3 puzzle genre. Each of the ingredients has certain elements in it: earth, water and fire. Matching 3 of these together, they will combine to create a more powerful version of that element. Combining 3 of those powered up ones will create an even more powerful element, which improves the points that your meal is worth by quite a lot. You can add ingredients by your own choosing, and you twist 4 elements at a time with the back shoulder buttons. This counts as stirring the ingredients to make the elements match up with each other. You only have a small area to work with, so everything is a little claustrophobic and you just can't add ingredients willy-nilly, as you can only get rid of elements if you combine them. I like this constraint as it really makes you need to consider things thoroughly. This is especially for the fact that your judges, who will give you points in comparison to your rivals in the duel, have certain requirements that they would like. Some judges want more water-based dishes, while others may desire something with more fire. If you have more than one judge to please, then you need to cook separate dishes for them. This allows more variety, but you're still kept to a theme. Without regard for how many judges there are, the chairman will present you an ingredient that must be present in all of the dishes, no matter which elemental side that they need to be on. Just when you think you've got a handle on the mechanics though, the game is quick to add a spanner in the works once in a while, adding bones to the mix, poisonous patches, and degrading elements. Maybe it does get a little complicated at times, but they don't always throw everything in at once. It's not always a cooking standoff, however. You can take the odd jobs between competition to do fighting challenges, puzzles which involve stirring the ingredients, then a fast-paced pattern matching minigame where you need to create the combination of ingredients shown. They're not necessary, but you can earn money from them to buy equipment and extra ingredients to take with you into battle. While it may not be the longest game in the world, I think it's still definitely long enough for the price tag, as well as the superb production value gone into it. Battle Chef Brigade may seem an odd fit for the Nintendo Switch, priced well within the high tier range of eShop titles. Maybe together with the premise, it will make you think twice. After all, it's the kind of mashup whimsicality you'd probably find in a cheap but cheerful 3DS eShop game. You know the kind. The ones where you adventure out but you can also run a blacksmith or item shop on the side. But don't let that thought get in the way, as Battle Chef Brigade is an excellent title for the Nintendo Switch. Overall, Battle Chef Brigade may be a hard sell to some. The concept and premise of the game may not be the most enticing for the hardcore gamer, cooking, match 3 puzzler, Japanese anime style, but diversity and something different is really what we need these days, and what Battle Chef Brigade does is done well. Even if the meal judgments are often on the questionable side, the presentation is what makes it so special in my eyes. I may be overusing the word charming and gorgeous, but that's exactly what it is. Some nicely written characters, a bit of humour, excellent animation, well delivered voice acting, and a story that, while nothing special, will keep you on board throughout thanks to the cozy feelings that it gives you. I didn't have particularly high expectations of Battle Chef Brigade going into it, but within an hour or so I was hooked right until the end, and I'm sure you guys will be too. Okay guys, if you've enjoyed this review, then be sure to like and subscribe. That will help me out so much. You can read the full review of Battle Chef Brigade at whataboutthegame.com, and you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you want to. All the links are below. Thanks guys, bye bye.